people who are part of the channel here. You can find me on Instagram, official Travis Davis. And it has all of my information right there in the bio. If you click the link in my bio, you will come to this screen right here. This is travisknows.com. Doesn't matter how you spell nose, just put an S on the end. This is where you can find all of my information at, on travisknows.com or the link in my Instagram bio. If you want to be a part of my course, it's right here, my 1-year course, located right there. If you would like to get in our next 7-day federal government contracting challenge, it starts November the 28th, $297. You can sign up for that right there. If you have recommendations for any information that you would like me to teach about, you can visit GovCon Cheat Codes, which is this site right here. You can visit there. And if you see right here in this top corner right there, you see content suggestions. You could click that tab and give me some suggestions of things that you would like to learn about. And we'll work to produce those videos for you here on YouTube. Also, while you're there, you could take the assessment. Yes, we have an assessment for you guys that you can actually come right here, take the assessment, and find out if you're ready for government contracting or not, and how we could best help you out. So once again, that website is GovCon Cheat Code or Codes, doesn't matter which one you do, .com, and that will bring you there. If you put in any of my sites and for some reason they don't work, just put www. In the front, and that should bring you over to any of my sites. I also got some free resources here on GovCon Cheat Codes. You can definitely download the free resources, and I got some paid resources there as well, so you can take advantage of that. Also on travisknows.com, so we're back over on the other screen. Okay, if you would like to set up a consultation, you can absolutely reserve your consultation right here. It is $97 for 30 minutes. Last but not least, well, second to last but not least, we have tools here. Any tools that I've utilized in business is right here. You can check those out. They aren't mine. I'm just telling you the tools that I use, from QuickBooks to ClickFunnels, all the information located right there. If you need funding, if you're having issues with getting money for contracts, okay, money should never be an issue. You get the contract, don't worry about not having money if you ain't got none. So I actually have some teams that, a company that has helped us out a lot. And I always share that with you guys, and you can click this link right here. It's Later Financial Group. Talk with the experts. They have all the funding that you need for minority-owned small businesses. They've been a tremendous help to me. So again, I like to share that with them, share them with you. So again, that is at travisknows.com. And last but not least, you can keep up with me. Every Monday, I'm on Instagram. Tuesday, I'm on Clubhouse. Wednesday, I'm on LinkedIn. Thursday, I'm here on YouTube. And Friday, I am in my Facebook group. And I always say, if you don't know how to make $1,000 a month minimum right now on the internet, you should be inside of my Facebook group. We teach lessons on how to generate revenue utilizing the internet. Now, there is a waiting list right now, but I will be opening it up tomorrow and letting everybody in, as we just hit 1,000 people. So I'm putting together something for that. So again, make sure that you guys do join us in our Facebook group, as well as we do have our Friendsgiving coming up November 10th here in the DMV area. We like to break bread with each other, get to learn each other a little bit better. And it's nothing like meeting in person. So we do invite you guys out here. And once again, you can find all of that information in the Facebook group. Now, y'all know how I like to get this thing started, man. We gotta get this party started. Y'all know how it is. We've been here. Y'all know the mindset needs to shift. I need to know where my millionaires at out there. Where are my millionaires? Go ahead and put in the chat right now, I am a millionaire. Remember, I am a firm believer that your mind is blocking you from getting everything that you deserve and want in life. And it starts with you just saying little things like that. I am a millionaire. So put it in the chat no matter where you are at, whether you're watching on YouTube, listening on Clubhouse, watching on Instagram. I need you to put in the chat right now, I am a millionaire, because I need you to believe that you are a millionaire, else we ain't going to be able to achieve anything that I'm going to be talking about. Okay. So go ahead and drop that in there. I love all the I Am Millionaires coming in. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Big bags happening right now. Now let's dive into it, guys. Let's get into the business. Well, before we get into the business, I need to find out who's out here. You know, I need to find out who is out here real quick. So yes, we're going to take a couple minutes to celebrate everybody real quick here. Garden, what's going on, Garden? My man from LA. Hold on. I need to change the screen up real quick. We got to go back to here so y'all can see these names. We got Garden in the house from LA. Man, y'all got the good weather out there. Y'all got the good weather. I'm hating a little bit. We got Mr. and Mrs. Silver, Fox 4X, blessings from Detroit. That's what I'm talking about. Detroit is in the house. Pleasure to have y'all here. We got Brandon in the house from North Carolina. North Kakalaki in the building. I'm still mad to see how Double A's ain't out there no more, but that's for another story. We got Chicago in the house. Clifford, what's happening with you? I appreciate you from Chicago. I'm sure it's getting pretty cold out there if it's getting cold here. If y'all have never been in a Chicago winter, you should check it out. I don't know if Detroit is like Chicago, but you should check out Chicago winter. Jesus Christ. I don't know how y'all do it. It is too cold. Also, when we're talking today, if you guys have questions at any time, I wanted you to put a Q in the front with a dash and then put your question so I could find it quicker as we get started. Oh, T-Pick in the building from Chicago too. Hey, and guys, the reason I call this stuff out is if I say somebody's in your area, that's that synergy. That's that energy. You should probably be looking to reach out to them. Everybody's on the same mindset. You guys are here, right? To learn about government contracting. So if somebody's in the same area, okay, that could be a potential partner, potential teammate, somebody who could be on the other side of Chicago and get to a meeting for you that you can't get to. It's called teamwork. Okay. David, man, you know, it's always a pleasure to have you hanging out with us, part of the Pure Money gang. I appreciate you, David. When we say gang, it's gathering and networking genuinely out of Chicago. Always appreciate your support, my brother. Rhonda checking in from ATL is in the building. I love me some ATL too. Garden, I see your question. I'll get to it in a second. Sure. Checking in from Frederick, Maryland, down the street. I appreciate you, my brother. Let me see. From the 405. 405. Is that Florida? I always just say Florida for the zip codes. I'm thinking 405 is Florida. But I appreciate you being here, Patrick. All right, I'm going to answer this question that I seen right here real quick, and then we're going to go ahead and dive into it. We'll get back into celebrating some people here a little bit later. Garden asks a question. The certs and reps, do I have to fill out... Oops, I lost it. Do I have to fill out those forms on every contract? No. Well, let me see. Yes and no. I mean, once you do it one time, you got it. So just like copy and paste the format. You know, the hardest thing. Well, let me not say the hardest thing. This is why I encourage everybody to write and respond to opportunities. A lot of times, you know, we're confusing ourselves and we're making this process hard simply because we're not opening up the opportunity and finding out what it wants. Now, your hardest opportunity to write to will be your first one. And the reason that it's going to be your first one is because you ain't got nothing. Like, you've never done this before. It's going to feel scary and the whole nine. But what you'll realize is as you keep reading through opportunities and you're responding, and this is also why I tell you guys that you should build a pipeline and cater it towards a specific customer, not the government, but let's say Department of Energy, right? So as I respond to the first one of Department of Energy, this is how you expedite your learning curve. But if you jump around to a bunch of different agencies, again, you start creating work for yourself. But if I stay in my agency and I write that first one, what you'll realize is you probably have about 70 to 75% of the proposal written going forward for every proposal. Because the agency's standard, like the standards of it, the outskirts is going to stay the same. They're going to keep asking for the same stuff in every proposal in the beginning stage and at the end stage. And in the middle, for like the technical work that you got to do. If and this is for service-based work. So in the middle, when it's asking for your technical approach, okay, that needs to change. Your pricing needs to change. But the regular body of the proposal is all the same thing. It's going to keep, listen, the more you start reading these opportunities and look at this, you'll see where a contract officer is copy and pasted from a previous contract. Like, they not writing all this stuff up either. That 110-page opportunity that you see, they probably copied and pasted 92 pages from something else. They doing the exact same thing. So this is why you want to hurry up and get out there and start the process of responding, and you will find out how easier it gets the more you respond, and it gets 10 times easier if you focus in on the customer that you want to work with instead of jumping around everywhere. Because again, now you got to write all these new proposals for different customers, and you're probably going to forget what the last customer was talking about. So hopefully that helps you out there. All right. Now I'm going to dive into the training that we're going to do today. Again, we're going to be talking about following the money. How do I find the money? How do I follow the money so I can find opportunity for myself? So that's what we will be diving into here. Before we get started, guys, again, I appreciate the support and love that you have, but I need you to do it again. I need you to go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this information out with at least 3 minority entrepreneurs, only 1.67% of the black population. When I say minority, I ain't just talking about black people. I mean any race that's not a white male, okay? And I have absolutely no problem with my white males, okay? It's just, hey, we need some help over here in minority land, and you guys got the support. Plus, we need to lean on you guys to work with us. So don't think I am downplaying you. I'm just trying to talk to my minorities right now. So share this out with 3 other minority entrepreneurs, business owners, so they can find out about this industry right here. I truly believe, now this is for the black community, this is, okay, our 40 acres and a mule. This is our reparations. We got to pay attention. And when you see these numbers today, hopefully you realize, like, wow, Travis ain't playing. This is truly our reparations. But anyways, let's dive into it, guys. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start at SAM.Gov. Looking for my phone because I just realized I got to log in here. Man, where is my cellular device? There it is. All right. So we're going to go over to SAM.Gov. Now, the reports that I look at in SAM.Gov, you have to be logged in order to see them. If you don't log in, then you can't see the reports on SAM.Gov. You can look at opportunities, but you're not going to be able to see these reports. Don't forget, you do need the Authenticator app, the Google Authenticator app. If you're going to be using SAM.Gov, which you should be. 8, 9, 6, 7, 6, 6. All right, that gets me in there. Now, what we're going to play around here for a second, and we're going to go over to USA Spending as well, but we're going to play around with this data bank here on SAM.Gov. All right, if you can't see it, I apologize as well. It just is what it is. All right. I'm coming down here now. I have reports that I've put into my favorites, but you guys can scroll through here, gather the reports that you like, and add them to your favorites as well. But I'm going to go ahead and click favorites right here, and I'm actually going to scroll down to a report by NAICS. So I'm looking for total actions by NAICS code. Now, your NAICS code describes the type of business that you do. I kind of look at it like, let's say government contracting is Walmart, okay? The NAICS code is the aisle that your product or service is in. And you can have multiple NAICS codes. So, yes, you can be on multiple aisles, okay? But let's take, for instance, the 5-4 NAICS code. That's the 5-4 family of NAICS codes. So we're on aisle 5-4. Okay. On aisle 5-4, they got a bunch of different NAICS codes that's under that aisle. That takes us down the aisle in the area. Now, there's another code called the PSC code. P is in Paul, PSC code. The PSC code puts you on the shelf in the aisle. Okay? So we got the NAICS code that takes us to the aisle. The PSC code puts us on the shelf in the aisle. But right now, all we care about is the aisle. That's what we're going to be looking at right now today. What aisle do I need to be on? Who's spending my money? Now, everything in government contracting is public information. So nothing that I'm talking about is hidden from us. They're not trying to hide it from us. It's sitting right in front of our face, and you just got to read it. It is what it is once you see it. All right? You can't yell, complain, do any of that. Nobody cares. But what you can do is strategically figure out how you can get yourself involved in these contracts. Strategically figure out if you could get this contract sole sourced to you, direct awarded where you ain't got no competition, because you'll notice that everybody, okay, who's winning these contracts, maybe you're bigger or maybe they're white men. And now we're going to utilize the rules and regulations. They say America's built off the back of small businesses. So since they wrote the law in place for small businesses, we're going to utilize it. But it's hard to do these things if you don't do your research first and you don't follow the money. How many of you guys believe that America is a capitalistic country? Put a 1 in the chat if you believe that America is a capitalistic country. If you don't believe America is a capitalistic country, put a 2 in the chat. But if you do, I want you to go ahead and drop that 1 in the chat. Now, the reason I'm asking you this question is because I see all the ones coming in. America is a capitalistic country. Yes, we are a capitalistic country. So damn it, let's capitalize. Like, we ain't got to complain about it. I know America is a capitalistic country. Each one of you all know America is a capitalistic country. So now we should figure out, since we know the game, right? The game is capitalism. We all just said we know that the game called America is capitalistic. So since we know that, we need to stop looking negative at that word called capitalism. See, in the poor communities, and when I say poor, passing over opportunities repeatedly, in the poor communities, they frown upon the word called capitalism. But when I go over into the rich communities, they don't frown upon the word called capitalism. They talk about the game called capitalism. So today and every time moving forward, we need to be some capitalistic pigs. I am a capitalistic pig. I play the game called capitalism to the T, and I want you to do the exact same thing. Now, maybe you don't need to talk to your friends and family and people around you about it, because if you tell them, I'm a capitalistic pig, they're going to look at you some type of way. And you may not be mentally strong enough at this moment for those people who are going to look at you negatively that you can take that on. So if you're not ready for that, just shut up. You don't have to tell anybody about what you're doing. Just go do it. And then once you get them $2, $3, $4 million, then if you feel like you're ready to express your voice, then you can go ahead and do it then. And I'm pretty sure once you got that type of money, you don't really care. You ain't scared, worry about what nobody got to say about you being capitalistic. So I'm telling you that right now because we're about to see some really big numbers. Okay? And I don't want these numbers to scare you. I don't want these numbers to make you think that you can't do this. The only reason you can't do it right now is because of that capitalism. The community around you keep talking about it is negative for capitalism. Because when you see these checks and how you go and charge people for other people working for you and all this stuff, this kind of goes down the road of the poor community talking about capitalistic pigs. Because who are you to make $500,000 and you ain't got to do no work while all your employees got to go to work and they can barely put Christmas presents under their tree? That's how people going to look at you. You got to be able to get over that. You got to understand that you're building a business, that you're creating wealth. You have to understand that you put a check in that employee's hand when nobody else would. We do not worry about what some naysayers got to say about us. So I just wanted to make that message right now today so we can keep moving forward, and we move forward at a very high level. I don't want y'all moving forward about no crumbs. I'm not a crumb teacher. Okay? You can go find somebody else and say, you know, you got to play around with the crumbs. Somebody out there is preaching the crumb life right now, today, at this moment. It just ain't me. All right? Now let's go take a look. So I'm looking at 01, 20, 21. Okay, because I want to look at the last fiscal year and this past fiscal year. So 2022 fiscal year just ended, but not all the data is coming yet. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 2021 fiscal year. Remember, government's fiscal year ends at the end of September. We started a new fiscal year October 1. Okay, so I'm actually going to take this to the end of the fiscal year. What is that? 09, 31 or 30, whatever. 2022. And I'm going to hit execute. Now, you guys are going to see the data here of the NAICS codes that have the most money. So again, I often get asked, Travis, who has the most money? What is the best industry to get in government contracting? Well, follow the money, and that's the best industry. If you just want to jump into an industry, follow the money, and that's the best direction that I could possibly tell you to get in if you want to get started, and that's the route that you want to go in, because you don't have to do business in your niche. You don't have to do the shit that you love and all that stuff that they talk about. I don't believe in that. You got to generate money, okay? So yes, I do a bunch of stuff that I don't like doing. Hell, I don't even like government contracting, but I do it. I do it because it generates the wealth that I need to buy my time back. So I don't need to like doing something to do it. That's a myth. That's a lie. They tell you to do that because if usually you're doing something that you like or that you're passionate about, you would get your ass up at 5 a.m. to execute it. You'll sacrifice some sleep to make sure it goes. But what I'm telling you is I love my time as much as that passion stuff that they talking about, finding the career and stuff that you love. See, I love my time, so I'm going to do whatever the hell I need to do to generate enough money as fast as I can so I could buy my time back. So that means that I don't have to stay in a lane that the niche that I know, love, or whatever. So again, I'm going to take you to the money, and then you can make a decision what you want to do after that. I'm not here to tell you what's right or what's wrong about running your business. There is no right or wrong way to do your business. And when you see these dollar amounts, you can't go wrong in any industry, honestly. So as we plug this up here, let me do this real quick. See if I can zoom this bad boy up. Okay. Now let's take a look here. I sorted this by the dollar amount spent. Now, remember, we're looking at the last 2 fiscal years, okay? The last 2 fiscal years right here. To look at the most money. Where's money being spent at with the government? Well, it's the NAICS code 54, the NAICS code that starts with 54, which happens to be professional, scientific, and technical services. That's my main NAICS code, 541519. I'm in this industry right here, technology. As you guys can see, in 2 years, not 10 years, not 5 years, in 2 years. So you can actually break this down and maybe do like a 60-40 split. Okay, 60 they spent in 2022, 40 they spent in 2021. Again, we could go back and sort it for just 21. You can manipulate the data how you need, okay? But in just 2 years, in the IT industry, they spent $356 billion. I don't know if you guys are getting that. In just 2 years, they spent $356 billion. Well, I'll just round that up to $356.5 billion, right? Because there's 424 million behind it. So now, if I come over here to my calculator, let me pull this calculator up. I hope that my calculator can even do this math that I'm about to do right here. Okay. Now, what do we got? 356. And I'm just going to do solid numbers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, that's 356 billion. If I multiply that by 23%, that is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's $81 billion. So out of the scientific, professional, technical service field that spends $356 billion in the last 2 years, 81 million. Well, we going to round that up to 82 billion. I keep saying million. 82 billion of that 356 billion, 82 billion of those dollars had to come to small minority owned businesses. So if you're in the scientific, professional, and technical services industry, this is admin services. That's a professional service. This is HR services, hiring people, temp agencies. That's a professional service. This is research. That's scientific services. This is help desk work, call center work, cybersecurity. This is managed services. All of this falls under 5-4. And what are the odds if I'm looking at something that I do that there's a 23% requirement set aside that I cannot tap into $82 billion? And I ain't even got to compete with everybody. The 82 billion is not to compete with everybody. It's just to compete with small businesses. And then once I started breaking up that, we got women-owned small business. We got Hubs-owned small business. We got veteran-owned 8As. Ain't nothing for black people. I don't know why, but that's another story. But anyways, we got all of that right there. That's how it get broken down. 3%, 5% to women, 5% to 8As, 3% to service disabled veteran owned, 3% to veteran owned. That's where that 23% comes in. So now if I utilize a women owned certification, I'm not even competing with all the small minority owned businesses. I'm only competing with the women owned businesses for $82 billion. So now we look up under that, because now you may be saying, well, Travis, I ain't that type of person. That ain't what I do. Well, the next highest one is manufacturing. Manufacturing is going to be up there probably for the next couple of years because we're trying to manufacture more stuff in America. So what type of things are they manufacturing at the next highest? Well, manufacturing metals, machinery, computer electronics, electrical transportation equipment, and furniture. They did $273 billion in the last 2 years. Office furniture. These are your desks. These are your computer chairs. These are doors, lights, fans. We're looking at electronic chips. Well, didn't they do a new mandate about these EV cars? So if the EV cars got to get produced in America because they said no more gas, well, the only way to produce an EV car is with chips. So when they make these type of laws and rules and regulations, all of a sudden they just made somebody extremely rich. Now you could just go find the people who make the chips and partner with them. Because I know for sure a lot of them chip manufacturers are going to become large business real soon because there's so much work that's going to be coming their way. They have to partner with small businesses. So again, if we look at 273 billion, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If I multiply that by 23%. Oops. There we go. What are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We got $62 billion is set aside for small businesses. The next one, manufacturing again. But what are we manufacturing for this one? This is the 32 NAICS code. That one was the 33. This is the 32 NAICS code. Manufacturing paper, printing, petroleum, coal, chemical plastics, rubber, non-metallic minerals. $103 billion in the last 2 years. Okay, well, let's go down. 56, administrative and support and waste management and remediation services. $100 billion to pick up some damn trash. See, now, most people are like, I'm too good to pick up trash. I didn't tell you to pick up the damn trash. I told you to go get a trash company. and hire some people to pick up the trash. Do you think that you could pick up what is this, $100 billion worth of trash? You got to be crazy. I already know I need a company to pick up trash. And the beauty about that is it's impossible that there aren't companies who already know how to pick up trash, because somebody had to have been picking up the trash in America already. So somebody's already been picking up the trash. Why can't I just go find the people that know how to do it? I'm going to specialize in trash and learn the whole entire trash game, because I realize that $100 billion for trash, it's impossible that there's enough small trash companies. Because with $100 billion, you're making some pretty large companies in trash, because I know there's a trash problem in America. This is just me knowing business. Let me go down. Construction, that's the next one. 23, all my construction people. $69 billion in construction. Finance, all of my CPAs, bookkeepers. Well, there you go. Finance, 5.2. There's $36 billion in the last 2 years for finance. Healthcare, $30 billion. The transportation industry, $28 billion. The information industry, $25 billion. Manufacturing, food, textile, apparel, these are clothes, $18 billion. Wholesale trade business, $10 billion. Educational services, yeah, teachers. Did you know that you could teach some shit? Yeah, you could teach lessons. This is your training services right here. Learning how to do Excel, learning how to do Amazon. Yeah. $8 billion. Other services except public administration. I don't even know what that is, but $6.9 billion towards that. Over 1.1 million actions right here. That's 1.1 million contracts that went out for $6.9 billion. So you had 1.1 million chances to go after this. Postal services, yep. Do you know they need some people to hand out the mail through all those buildings? And you could become a mailman overnight. 49, they did $4 billion in the last 2 years. Utilities, yes, I told you the government is a business. They got to pay utilities too. And I know a lot of people going around talking about you could change electricity. Well, did you know that you could sell electricity to the government and stop trying to sell electricity to the people all day? $3.5 billion. Food services, yeah, all my chefs out there who just be cooking it up all the time. Well, did you know the food service industry, they did $2.4 billion with the government? Non-NAICS category. They ain't even got a NAICS category for this. They did $2.1 billion. Can't even find a NAICS code. Agriculture, fishing. Yeah, all of my people out there, my farmers and whatnot. They did $1.9 billion. Public administration, $1.6 billion. Real estate and leasing. Real estate and leasing. They did $1.6 billion in real estate and leasing. Retail trade, motor vehicles, furniture, electronics, building materials, food, health, gasoline, clothing, 44. They did $1.5 billion. I hope you guys have heard where furniture is in a couple of NAICS codes, where food is in a couple of NAICS codes. It ain't just one. So I'm just telling you one, but now if you add that one plus the other three, I mean, you're well over, $30, $40 billion in your industry. What I am trying to show you guys right now, right here at this moment, is stop asking. Stop asking, does the government buy what I know about? Do you not see that the answer is yes? Goddamn, billions of dollars? The odds of them missing you on whatever you want to sell, you ain't selling something new. Like, you ain't building tunnels under the ground like Elon Musk, and he even sold that to the government. The government want to buy that too. But what I'm telling you, you ain't a rocket scientist about to build some new tunnels under the ground, so you're not thinking of nothing new. So when you ask me, does the government want to buy what I got? The answer is always yes. It's never been no. And I don't care what it is that you got. The answer is yes. The government is purchasing whatever you want to sell. And if we look at the total actions right here, let's take a look. In the last 2 years, the total actions, that's the number of contracts. We're going to come all the way down here to the bottom. The number of contracts that they did in the last 2 years was 110 million contracts. And only 1.67% of the black population has been tapping into this. So out of 110 million contracts, they did over $1 trillion. I hope y'all are understanding this. Over $1 trillion in 110 million contracts. Now, let me just look up a stat real quick here. I want to look something up. How many businesses are in SAM.Gov? All right, let me see if I can find this answer real quick here. How many companies are registered in SAM? Avoid being among the 120,000 businesses registered in SAM as of 2021. 2021, not 2001, 2021. So 120,000 businesses registered in SAM. Well, I got some news for you guys. 30 to 40% of those businesses out of this 120,000, the only reason they're registered in SAM.Gov is so they could get that PPP loan. You couldn't get the PPP stuff if you wasn't registered in SAM. So it really ain't 120,000 businesses. They're in there, but they don't even know what the hell they're registered for. They just wanted that free PPP money that they done burnt through already. They didn't realize that they were in the system that could change their entire life. They just wanted to listen to the free. So they in here. Don't pay attention to the 140. What I'm trying to tell you. So there's 120,000 businesses registered. I'm telling you right now that we'll say 80,000 of these businesses are looking at opportunities. And out of the 80,000 businesses that are looking at opportunities, I would probably say only about 30,000 are submitting. So now if I come back over here and I look at this data and I know that only 30,000 companies are submitting to 110 million opportunities. Now we got to understand what I keep trying to say. If you follow the money, you find your opportunity. There's only 30,000 people competing for 110 million opportunities that total $1 trillion. You can win if you focus. But since it's 30,000 companies here eating all this money, I keep trying to tell you somebody already at this table eating. So don't think that you just going to show up and wave your hand and everybody going to be like, oh man, that black lady, she's never earned any of this money. I'm just going to move over to the side and let her have a chance at this. This is a dog world right here. Don't nobody care if you on your last dollar. Don't nobody care if you sleeping out of your car. Don't nobody care if you lost your house. Don't nobody care if it's just like you and your kids living on the street. Nobody cares in the business world. Maybe your family and the people next to you have pity for you. But I'm telling you right now, over here in this world, your story ain't going to work. You try that to run ads or something on Instagram to get people to click on your stuff. But I'm telling you right now, that sorry ass story ain't going to work in this industry called government contracting. So you better just get rid of it. We got to come in here ready to beat a dog just like everybody else. We got to come in here and realize that, okay, there's some rules and regulations that allow me to take some food off somebody's plate. There's some rules and regulations that allow me to be a dog. There's some rules and regulations that say, hey, you 30,000 companies that been eating right there all the time, you about to slide over. And I'm not really asking you to slide over. I'm about to force your ass to slide over. Because I'm paying attention. I'm doing my research. I'm doing my homework. And then I'm enforcing the law that they wrote to ensure my victory. It's just a game. That's it. And guess what? When you play this game and you become successful, I'm telling you right now, in order to become successful in this space, somebody got to lose. Yeah, when you hit the submit button and you win, somebody else lost. So get it in your mind right now that you're going to take food off somebody else's plate. Yeah, I am going to take food off somebody else's plate, and so are you. But the beauty is, if they focus just like you've learned to focus, they can come over here and access this $1 trillion and get on up out your way. But for this opportunity right here, I'm sorry, Sam. It's over for you. This is mine's now. And it's mine for the next 4-5 years. That's why I love this space. Like I left football and this is my new football game. I get to hit somebody right in their goddamn jaw, but I don't even have to do it physically. I do it when the contract gets awarded. I just watch their jaw drop. Like, what am I going to do tomorrow? I don't know what you about to do, but you should go figure it out. I know what I'm about to do. We just got a victory. We cheering in the tunnel. I don't even see you no more. We going on to the next deal. You got to have this type of mindset. We talking about big dollars right here. I'm not talking about no $5,000 deal. I'm not talking about $200. I'm talking about creating wealth right now. Real wealth, recession-proof wealth. We ain't never heard none of this stuff in the industry, the recession, inflation, and all that. That's what poor people talk about. Again, what do I say poor? Passing over opportunities repeatedly. When you keep passing over opportunities, you can't make money faster because you kept passing over all the opportunities. So now, since you passed over every opportunity that was put in front of you, now you got to feel the wrath of the system. And you're going to be broke. You know what I'm saying? Poor people got to worry about those type of things. But you guys ain't poor no more. Because you ain't passing over the opportunity. You guys are stepping into this. One contract can change everybody's life. It just takes one. So again, now that I know the NAICS codes, you may be still asking, well, what the hell is this? What is this 5-4? What is this 3-2? Well, let's go over here. All right, I'm going to go to this NAICS.com. Okay. I'm going to come over here to NAICS search. Now, what did they say? 5-4, right? So let's look at 5-4. That's professional and scientific services. If I click on 5-4, now I can see all of the NAICS codes under 5-4. So we got 5-4-1-1. All 5-4-1-1 opportunities are going to lead me to legal services. If I click on 5-4-1-1, now I can see notaries. See, everybody asks me their stuff. You can find out. And the beauty is, if I look right here, Office of Notaries, okay, 541-120. There's 10,000 companies that are registered to do business under this NAICS code. So you already know coming in the game, I'm competing with 10,000 companies under this NAICS code. But I told you got to subtract some of those things for the PPP. So you really ain't competing with 10,000. And then if you look and maybe all the companies are large, you probably ain't competing with too many after that. So you're going to keep coming through the entire 359 billion or whatever 5-4. These are all of the industries that it does. Now I told you mine is 5419. I love when I find a NAICS code that says other professional services, because when I do 541519, okay. I don't know why that's 541910. I don't know. It should be under here 541. That's right here. I'm 541519. Other computer related services. That's me. Okay. Now, as you can see, I'm only competing with 4,800 companies. I like the other services because a bunch of stuff usually falls under other. They don't like put it under computer system design services. They throw it under other. But this is why you need to do your research. You need to do your homework to find out what agency is spending your money and what NAICS codes are they utilizing. And that's the best way for me to find your NAICS code. Just follow the money. Okay. You follow the money, you do your research, and you can get all the information that you possibly need in order to fill your profile out. But if you just keep asking, what do I do here? What do I do there? I'm telling you, people going to lie to you, because if they didn't take the time out to do the research, their answer is probably a lie. And it's hard for me to answer you without knowing exactly your vision and where you're trying to be. I hope you guys are seeing why, sometimes questions that are asked, I can't give you the answer because I really need to know what you're trying to do. Without knowing what you're trying to do, it makes this process extremely hard. Okay. So again, I'm going to show you one more time. We come over here. We say construction 23. I'm going to come over here back to my NAICS.com. I'm going to look for 23. It said 23 is construction. I click right there. I can see all the different things in construction. So what type of construction do you want to do? 2379, other heavy and civil engineering construction. So now we know the exact NAICS code. You understand how many people you got in competition. You can have multiple NAICS codes under your profile. Again, you do not just have to have one. Now, you don't want all the NAICS codes because you're going to look like a jack of all trades. But if you're like in the construction field, okay, you may want to have like these 4 NAICS codes here, and then you come down here, maybe you want that NAICS code, and then you come down here, and maybe you want these NAICS codes, but they're all under construction, so it's okay. Now, once you get started doing your construction and the government's like, hey, can you do some IT stuff for me? Now you go back into the system and throw the IT NAICS code in there, but you don't need to have it in there when you're getting started because your main business is construction at this moment. Get through the door, find more opportunity after doing good work, and then you could add NAICS codes just by going to your SAM.Gov profile and punching in that information. So once again, this is the money that is being spent per NAICS code. You can go back. If you came to this video late when I posted and replay it, you can go to it and find out exactly how to look this information up. But going forward, no more should I have anybody asking, does the government buy what I want? And you should copy and save this video so when you talk to somebody and like, oh, the government ain't buying what I want, send them this video to watch so they can come up here and see the government got plenty of money for you. Now, the next site I want to show you guys, and then this is going to be the last thing that we go over, and this is why the importance of me teaching you guys this information and why I ask you all to share this information out. Let other minority entrepreneurs know about what's going on because these numbers hurt my feelings every time I look at it, and there ain't nothing I can do about it. It just is what it is. Well, let me not say it's nothing that I can do about it. I'm trying everything that I believe that I could do to do something about it. And this is it right here, to educate you guys as much as I possibly can, because that's the only way that I know how to change this. Again, we argue about the recession. We argue about not being treated right in the black community. We argue about people not listening to us and our voices. And I'm a firm believer. Why would I listen to you if you ain't got no money? You know what I'm saying? And then people argue back to me, we're the largest spenders, consumers. We got money. Did you just hear what you just said? In order to consume, that means we're buying somebody's stuff. We ain't got no money if we just give it away. That ain't having money if you give it away. We are the largest race giving all our money away. That's what you just told me. And if you're excited about that, then I don't want you to do anything that I'm talking about because we ain't even on the same page. When I'm trying to tell you guys is that these other races are capitalizing, capitalistic pigs. They're using this money to secure everything that they got going on. If you can use the government money to secure your doors, to guarantee that you can keep everything operating no matter what happens in this world, now everything after that you make on the outside is just profit. This is what these big boys are doing. Every one of these big boys have government contracts that are locking down their business because they know there's nothing that's going to happen to stop that flow of money. So once you can lock this down and then you go to the other side of the world called the private sector and you start doing business to consumer, business to business and all of that, that's all profit that can come in for you. But you got to lock it down with this sector. I told you this is just a customer. You still got to have a business. So you lock down your business with this customer and then you go get all the other customers for your profit. This is what the big boys do. Now, I'm here on USASpending.gov. And I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did. Fiscal year 2022, 2021. Let me make sure this thing is fresh. Fiscal year 2022, 2021. I'm going to come down here to recipient type. Matter of fact, before we do recipient type, I'm just going to hit search. All right. And then we're going to change this to categories. Now, in 2 years, IAD spent the most money. Okay. At $9.2 million. And then you got the VA after that at 8.3. You know what? I want to make sure I need to start this page up again because it was already running. I want to make sure this data is right. All right, so I'm coming down here. I'm doing fiscal year 2022, 2021. And also remember, not all 2022 data is in yet. All right. See, that's why I had to change this bad boy up. I knew it was telling me something wrong. All right, so for these last 2 years right here, let that thing load. We can see that HHS spent 3.4. Oh my goodness. In the last 2 years, HHS has spent $3.4 trillion in the last 2 years. Now, remember these numbers that I'm telling you guys for a second, because it's going to blow your mind when you see the numbers and the statistics that I'm showing you and why it's important that we get involved in government contracting. Do you guys believe that $3.4 trillion could change your community that you're in right now? Drop a fire emoji in the chat, no matter where you're at. Put a fire emoji in the chat if you believe that $3.4 trillion could change up the community that you're in. I ain't talking about anybody else's community. I ain't talking about the community all around the world. I'm talking about the community that you live in, that you operate out of. Drop a fire emoji if you believe that $3.4 trillion could change that. See, everybody's under the same belief that I am. Yeah, I believe if we start generating this revenue, we can change our own communities. And now, if I go up under HHS and I go look at the Social Security Administration, they did $2.4 trillion in the last 2 years. The next one under that was the Department of Defense. They did $714 billion in the last 2 years. After that, we got the VA with $514 billion, Department of Treasury with $481 million, and I could keep going on and on. Now, what I looked at right now was all of the contracts that have come out in the last 2 years. Y'all remember them numbers, right? Pay attention. I'm about to show you some freaky stuff. The reason why I talk about this so heavy, the reason why I curse and I'm so passionate, and the reason why I ain't got time for people's bullshit. And we about to scroll down here, the same exact database, okay? I'm going to scroll down here. Instagram, y'all about to get cut off, man. You click the link in my bio and come join me on YouTube. But they cut me off on Instagram right now, just FYI. And I'm not reading none of the chat messages or anything y'all put there because I'm on YouTube. But anyways, I'm coming down here. First thing I'm going to do is small business. I want to know how many of those contracts came out of small business. All right, boom. Now, we're going to look at the exact same thing. We looked at all work that came out, but now we're going to look specifically at small business. Now, the top agency with DOD is $698 billion went towards small business. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe the $698 billion could change your community, not nobody else's community, but your community. Drop a 1 in the chat. If $698 billion, well, I ain't even gonna say billion. If 1% of $698 billion could change your community, drop a 1 in the chat. Because these are small business set-asides that I'm talking about right here. This eliminated all of the big boys. Can't none of the big boys get none of this money that I'm showing right now. You got to be a small business. And you got to be a minority-owned business. So that's $698 billion from the DOD. The Small Business Administration, the SBA, spent $274 billion. Department of Energy spent $84 billion. HHS, they spent $81 billion. So if you're a small business and you're asking me, who should I be working with first? Well, damn it, the people who are spending money with small business. Why would I go work with an agency that just spends a bunch of money with large business when I can just look at the data right here and it's showing me who's small business friendly? That the DOD love them some small business. Why? Because they buy a lot of missiles, rockets, and all types of stuff that they got to blow things up. Guns, ammo. I mean, you can produce that stuff fast through small business. The SBA, why all this money through SBA? Because the president of the United States said that, hey, we need to do more for small business. So they're trying to create all of these programs and all this stuff going on. So a lot of money been going through SBA. Why Department of Energy? Didn't the president tell you guys, hey, we tired of gas. We need clean energy going on out here. So why do you think all of this money's going towards energy? Well, what's under that? HHS. Well, weren't we in a pandemic? Ain't it all about health and whatnot? If you guys are noticing, I removed the emotions of what they talk about that's going on in the world, and I just paid attention to the business. If you pay attention to the business, you can see the money. It's sitting right here. When something else happened, these agencies will flip. But as of today, the president is big on energy, so that's going to keep rising. We got a health problem. That's going to keep rising. Department of Treasury, they put a whole lot of money out into the atmosphere. Somebody got to keep this stuff organized. It damn sure ain't the government. These are contractors that are handling this stuff. It's the same contractors that's about to come back and collect on all the people who robbed the PPP. It's going to be contractors coming after you. Well, it's going to have the government's name on it, but the contractors can't, we're the smart ones. You got to remember, we as people, we are the people who are smart, not the government. Everybody thinks the government is so damn smart. Guys, the only thing that the government is smart about is running business about how I keep trying to tell you to run business. See, the government don't know how to do nothing either. So what the government does is they go find really smart people called contractors who know how to do some things that they know absolutely nothing about. And they say, hey, can you show us how you do it? Write the proposal. Well, we like how you just said that you could do this. Could you come work and do it for us? Ain't that the same thing I tell y'all to do in business? I'm not telling you to do something that the system ain't doing. So I'm saying, hey, the same way the government say, hey, we too stupid to know how to do this. I'm telling you right now, my business right now, I'm too stupid to know how to do any of that work. So I go find people that know how to do it. But instead of me hiring them as a contractor, I hire them as an employee. And then since the government's too stupid to do the work, they say, hey, Travis, your company is really smart because you got some really smart people up under it. Can y'all execute for me? Absolutely, we can. It's the same thing that the government does. Now, I just showed you guys all of this money that's coming from small business. You guys told me that this money could change your community that's set aside for small business. Now, watch this freaky stuff right here. Majority black people follow me, okay? Now, you can come down here and do this for your own race. I don't care. White folks, I'm telling you, you don't have this problem, so don't try to come do it for you. And I'm not here to pick at no race, no side. I just don't care about that. I'm trying to show you guys the data and the importance of why you got to get into this space because we ain't doing nothing. So if I change this box right here from business, now I'm going to come over here to minority owned business and I'm going to put Black American owned. Oh my God. When you guys see these stats, it should hurt your feelings. It hurt mine. Okay. So this is going to show all of the contracts. It's coming out to Black American owned businesses. The top one is DOD. Now, I told you guys, DOD, they were spending in the trillions of dollars overall. Then we set it aside for small business. It said that the DOD was spending $890 some billion in small business contracts. Remember that number. $890 some billion was set aside for small minority owned businesses. And I told you that word minority is anybody who's not a white male. And even some white males are minorities in this system. So as I look at black owned and I come look at DOD, we got a whopping $8 billion. So you mean to tell me out of $896 billion, we only got $8 billion? Is that a percentage? I don't know. I don't even know if that is a percentage. It could be a percentage. Now, if I go look at HHS, I told you HHS was on that list, the top spending of small businesses because we were in the pandemic, right? But how much is HHS spending with black people? Because they was in multiple billions. So let's see what they doing with black folk. Oh my goodness, a whopping $1.9 billion. I don't think that's a percentage. And let's come down here to the VA. Oh, they did 1.3 billion and DHS did $1 billion. And then, we come all the way down here to the bottom of the totem pole, NASA. They did $370 million with black folks in the last 2 years. But I'm going to change this out. Let's go look at, American Indian. We look at American Indian. I mean, the DOD did $4 billion with them. Now, we the third largest population. The American Indians, they low on the totem pole, but how the hell did they do $4.4 billion? We only did 1.9. American Indians did 4.4. Here, I'm not here to knock no race. That's not the game that I'm playing. I'm not here to say, hey, yo, American Indians, you wrong. I'm not here to say, white folk, y'all wrong. I'm here to wake my people up. Do y'all see what the hell is going on? How can you be the third largest population and you on the bottom of the totem pole making money? I could go through every single race right here and we gonna be at the bottom. Why? Because we consumers, we don't own nothing. All we want to do is make money. You know what I'm saying? And how do we make money fast? We go to work for people. And we ain't got no ownership. And the reason we ain't got no ownership is because when we start a business, we keep trying to take money from each other. You know, like I get mad at you for not buying my stuff. But what I'm telling you, you ain't got to get mad at us for not buying your stuff. You can go straight over here to this customer and ask them to buy it, whether it's your product or your service. And then once you make all this money from this customer, now you can get out into the space and figure out, how do I do the consumer spending? How do I get consumers to support me while you got these government contracts on lock? But we got to wake up. It's impossible to be the third largest population and we at the bottom of the totem pole on the money. We got to wait. We have to wake up. Again, that's American Indian. I don't even know. I haven't seen Alaskan, like I know Alaskan natives, but you don't come across them every day. Look at the Alaskan natives. They did $11 billion. They did $11 billion. The Alaskan natives. I don't even know how many of them out here, but they damn sure ain't nowhere near the third largest population in America. Nowhere close to the third largest population in America, and they did $11 billion. That's the most the organization. Man, Jesus Christ. I told y'all. Does this stuff frustrate y'all? Does it upset you when you look at it? Drop a 1 in the chat if it's doing the same thing to you. And when I'm not mad at any of these races. I'm just saying it's crazy. This is why nobody has to listen to us. This is the real reason why we have no voice in America. Would I have to listen to you if all you do is bring in $1 billion? You're the third largest population. You're supposed to have some power. And in a system that generates the most money, you're the last on the totem pole. You're the third largest of the people, but you make the least amount of money of everybody. Well, I don't really have to listen to too much of what you got to talk about. So all this stuff, all that jargon that I be seeing on the internet and, you know, y'all got to listen to black folk and all this no, they don't. Actually, they don't have to listen to anything. You want to know why these white guys that are racist, the real racists, you want to know why they keep getting put into political positions? Well, it's right here. It's because we don't have enough money to put on their campaigns because all the goddamn money's going to everybody else. These are the individuals who are getting your officials elected into office, not you. We got to generate this money faster. This is a space right here that you could do it in. These numbers are wicked. Every time I look at them, it is wicked. This is why I'm so passionate about educating my community about this customer, because the numbers are so wicked to me. And the more I try, it seems like the numbers just keep growing away from me. I'm thinking I'm doing something good. We get 5 people to win some contracts. We done put $500,000-$600,000 back into our community, and then I see the budget skyrockets another $3 trillion, and we ain't put a dent. We over here complaining about they shouldn't be sending money to the U word. While we complaining about the money shouldn't be sent to the U word, guess what? They didn't send it to the U word. Instead, they came over here and they spent it with contractors. So while they got us caught up in media with our emotions, not paying attention to the business, the other races are actually handling business, as you can see. Alaska natives with $11 billion. Y'all want to take a look at what the Asian Americans doing? You know what I'm saying? They balling too. They doing $6.9 billion. We still only at $1.9 billion. They doing $6.9 billion. Every single race that I click on here outside of the Latinos, okay, the Latinos, they like $200,000 over us. It ain't that big of a gap, but they still over us too, but they the second largest population. But they only like $200,000 over us. So the Latinos and the black people, I don't know what we doing in our communities, but it damn sure ain't government contracting. And I know for a fact, based off the dollar amounts that come out here, the amount of money that the government moves, that this one single industry right here is the reason why communities ain't getting the support. They don't have to. They don't have to because the people in your community ain't got no business ownership and they ain't working with this customer to bring the money back. Every other race is. It just ain't ours. So guys, that today shows you where the money is. If you guys were able to follow what I was saying and you understand where to go find who spends the money, I want you to drop a diamond in the chat. Put a diamond in the chat, no matter which platform you on, if you understood what I told you today. In the meantime, I'm going to start go look through some of these questions that I have here. I appreciate each and every one of you all today who have been here. Make sure that you guys are liking, subscribing to the channel, telling somebody else about what we got going on over here. And y'all see my passion, right? Y'all see why I ask you guys to share this information out as much as we possibly can. I need your help to get this information in front of more minority entrepreneurs because I truly believe this is the change that we need. It just ain't been talked about yet. We talk about everything else but working with the government. When we use the government, it's all negativity. It's all about shit that we have absolutely no control over. And the reason we ain't got no control over it is because we ain't making no money in it. You make some money in it, watch how much power you got all of a sudden. So let's get out here and make some more money, guys. But I'm going to open it up for questions. I am going to scroll through here and look for the individuals who put Q followed by the question that they have. Again, make sure you are dropping that. I see we got the first live right here. Dana, I appreciate you for being here from the DMV. That's what I'm talking about. I'm in the DMV area too. Got a couple people here from the DMV. I appreciate you too, my brother, for being here with us. All right, let me look for these questions. I know I'm skipping over some people's stuff. I see you guys are networking in the chat. I love it. I love it. That's what I'm talking about. What time is the challenge? I guess you're talking about my 7-day challenge. Again, I do teach government contracting in 7 days. We're going to start the next class November the 28th. It goes for 7 days straight, including Sunday. We don't take no breaks off for Sunday. But it starts at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time zone, okay, for 7 days straight. And it will be the replays there, too, if you missed those. And you'll get access to the replays for 30 days after the last day of the challenge. I just see all my millionaires in the group. I love seeing y'all type I am a millionaire, man. That is that mindset shifting. All right, let me get past this. Looking for these questions. All right, here we go. We got a question. Do you stop auto rebid on Unison Marketplace? Do I use stop auto rebid on Unison Marketplace? No, I don't use any automations for my money. Okay. If money's involved, I can't automate that process, even with stocks and options. I don't believe in automating things that, and here's the thing. I'm a engineer. I'm a coder, programmer. I've done it all. Well, I used to be, let me say that. I used to be. I don't do none of that stuff no more. But I still know what happens in the background. And to me, if I was to put in some stop losses or something to trigger actions to happen when I'm not there, I know that the person who created the platform can see the triggers. I don't want you to see my triggers. And I mean, I've been doing trading stocks and options and stuff for a long time. So a lot of people, I believe these companies be cashing people out of all their money because they see everybody put their stop losses right there and they just boom, wipe it out real quick and then go on back. But anyways, the moral of my story is I don't put no auto triggers on nothing that got to do with my money. RB, well, I'm glad you made it. All right, where we go. How do we write past performance when you're subbing a contract out? You got to get in the habit of reading the opportunities that you want to go after. It's going to tell you how you can use your subcontractor. So if it tells you something like, hey, you cannot utilize your subcontractor's past performance to explain your capacity, well, that's them telling you, hey, there's no point of building a team, okay, because I can't use my sub. So what's the purpose of a team as far as using my sub on past performance? So that means that I have to do a joint venture. I can't do a teaming agreement. I have to do a joint venture. And now that makes it one company instead of two companies coming together as a team. These two companies came together and did the proper paperwork to become one. So now that one company has all the past performance and experience from the subcontractors and anybody else who's on that joint venture company. Okay. And then inside of the joint venture, the paperwork will say, okay, well, my company owns 51% of this joint venture and the other company owns 49%, but it becomes one. So now again, the one company gets to use all past performance. The other thing that I just always remind people about past performance is if you've been working, which most of you guys have been working all your life, you got past performance. You know, you're just counting yourself out of past performance because you haven't separated yourself from the business. You haven't allowed your mind to remove the W-2U away from the EIN business that you created. They're not the same. Okay. So past performance is what is my business capable of doing? Well, if you're the only employee to the business, okay, now your business is capable of doing everything that you know how to do. And that is the past performance at that moment. Everything that you have done is past performance of the business because the business is capable of doing that. That's the reason why these jobs are sitting outside of colleges for career day. This is the reason why they're trying to snatch up the smartest of the smartest people, because the owner, could you guys just imagine if the owner of the business tried to just sell what the owner knew how to do, it wouldn't go too far, right? But every time they bring on employees, it's not about what the owner can do. It's about what did the business put on the payroll. It's like modern day slavery, man. What did the business put on the payroll? As long as I got these 5 people on my payroll, this is what I do. What them 5 individuals do. And they've been doing this for a collective 50 years. Like I got 50 years of experience right here on my payroll. And they must be on my payroll. They can't be a contractor. If they're a contractor, they don't work for me. That's not my business. My business didn't do anything. Somebody else's business is capable of doing that. So those are your ways to get around past performance there, my brother. Can you break down the rule of 2? I want to properly utilize a strategy for opportunities on the forecast. So like RFIs or white papers or something, essentially what you're doing. And this is the reason why you want to be in like a group. It makes it a whole lot easier. If you're not in a group, well, you got to find some people to work this thing out. But essentially, let's say you got your women-owned certification, RFI comes out, or you're getting in front of opportunity before it hits the street. I'm going to write to the opportunity, whether it's a white paper or, again, RFI, source of salt or something of that nature. I'm going to write to the customer, letting them know that I'm capable of doing this as a women-owned company. Now, what I'm going to do in the meantime, before I submit my stuff, is I'm going to call on 2 of my friends that are women-owned businesses as well. And I'm going to have them send me over a white paper with their, not a white paper, their letterhead. Okay, I'm going to put like the B- response on theirs, the C response on theirs. send it back to them with everything I need to go in the email. Ask them to send this bad boy to the contract officer by such and such date that it was saying. And now that they've all sent it in, I know I got 3 women-owned companies who have submitted. Now that can spark the rule of 2. The rule of 2 saying that, hey, 2 of these minority-owned companies proved that they could do the work. I need you to move that and set it aside for women-owned business or small business or 8A or whatever it is that you need. Again, you need 2 of the same certification to go after that. So that's the rule of 2. Essentially, you take it away from everybody else. All right, how do I apply for being Native American? SBA.gov. You can see the certifications there, and you're going to go get the Native American certification. Got to have your tribal cards. Also, said you got to have your tribal cards. You could just marry into it, you know. I always said I might look for me a nice little Alaskan tenderoni or Native American tenderoni and marry her up so I can go ahead and get my certification. That's always a way in too. You know how they have people come from overseas and marry people for their green cards or whatnot? You can do the same thing for certifications. Oh man, or whatever. Y'all ain't listening to me on that. Don't pay attention to me on that, man. All right. Let me see. Do we got any more questions in here? Again, if you guys got a question, make sure you put a Q followed by a dash and then your question so I can see what is being said. I want to do business with the government. What was this right here? I want to do business with the government. However, do I need to pay to get my minority business enterprise certification? Nope. You ain't got to pay for no certifications unless you pay for somebody else to do it. Then yeah, you got to pay for that. But if you want to do it yourself, nah, there ain't no fee to it. Just got to read. All right. Let me see. Is this the best quarter to do government contracts? Every quarter is the best quarter. It's a customer that got $7 trillion. They spend money 24/7 every quarter. Don't wait for a quarter. Also, you guys should be doing some network and relationship building before the opportunities even hit the street. Listen, if the opportunity hits the street, like, you too late. Now, do some people win some opportunities for throwing stuff over the fence like they say? Yeah, some. But you new in this game, man. Like, I don't like doing stupid actions, right? Throwing stuff over the fence to me is stupid actions. Now, what I mean, and the reason why I'm saying it's stupid actions, see, we often don't put a price tag on our time. So to sit there and respond to opportunities to throw them over the fence, and it takes me 4 hours every day or 5 hours every time I pay attention to these dumbass things that I'm throwing over the fence and I just keep losing. Well, I mean, that's 4 or 5 hours a day. You need to multiply that. So if you've been doing this for 3 months and you ain't getting no results, do you know how much money you burnt through? Like, so for instance, myself right now, I charge people at minimum $180 an hour, at minimum. So if I was to go over here, okay, and I say 180 times 5, that's $900 a day. So if I'm over here playing around for 3 months, throwing stuff over the fence, and I multiply 900 by, I don't know, let's just say I ain't even going to make it all the way for 3 months. Let's just say 70 days. That's $63,000 right there. This is how proposal calls come up. Somebody's time has to be involved in doing this. And most times as entrepreneurs and business owners, and damn sure in the minority community, we forget that our time has value to it. So no, I don't throw stuff over the fence. I would rather spend my time researching so I can be a sniper, man. Look, I got a whole bunch of artillery around here. I collect those. And my favorite thing to do is snipe. I pull out the little sniper joint so I can look through the scope, test out the air. I fire off one shot, and I see that it missed the target by like a 1/4 inch, and then I got to turn the knob a little bit because the air was blowing, and then the second shot, boom, it's on there. See, most people go to the range and they just close their eyes. They never open their eyes when they was firing. It's just holes all over the place. That's how I see when people do business. They just throwing shit out there, and it's just holes all over the place. You don't even win the game. You know, like at the carnival joint when they have the little game that you could shoot the star out of the middle. Everybody loses because they're not precise. They just be game over. You're like, damn, I ain't get the bear. I know you didn't get the bear. You're just shooting all over the place. The same thing we doing in business. This is why you can't be rich and successful in business. You just trying to do all the damn stuff. You hear somebody talking, now you running over there. You hear somebody say something else on YouTube and just forget what Travis said. I'm going to run over here and do this. You go to an industry day and you heard somebody talk about a purchase car. I'm running over here. You shooting all over the place. When all you had to do is take your time, do your research, and snipe these things out, man. I am a damn snipe. I'm a dog. When I go to snipe, anybody that's in my way about to get hit. Because I took my time for this. I didn't spend $63,000 to do this one. With $63,000, I'm about to snipe about 10 opportunities for $63,000. But you better believe when I am ready to fire, oh my God, watch out. Everybody's going down unless you on the team with me and you were standing behind me in the back waiting for me to go ahead and let that thing go. Those people right there, they safe. Anybody else who wasn't riding with me, hey, you get in my way, it's over. And I don't care about your story either, trust me. All right? You said it's crazy you can rent equipment and make it happen. Man, listen. One of the easiest gigs that I think that everybody could do at this moment right now for government contractors, you could go to your local state government, right? And you could become a lawn care company overnight. All you need to do is take your ass down to Home Depot. Home Depot allow you to rent all the lawn equipment. You ain't got to own it. You can go rent all the lawn equipment. You can call up Home Depot, look on the app right now, and figure out like what are the costs for lawn equipment for some lawn mowers or whatnot, and you can meet your team there every day, pick up the equipment, and then go send them off on the contracts. I mean, these are simple things that you could do. But see, most people like, man, I want to have the building with my name on the outside of it and let the whole world know. Because I got to go on Instagram and I got to flex. I got to let Instagram know that I just opened my new lawn care business and I got my name on the building. And man, I need everybody to like and follow and support me because my name is on the building. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say. When your name on the building, you good. I don't want none of that. I just want to get to the paper. You can get to the paper right now at Home Depot. I'm telling you. Hell, and you ain't even got to wait for government contracts to do that Home Depot play. You can literally open up the neighborhood app. It's an app called Neighborhood app. It put everybody around you. You can go to the neighborhood app. Boom, I got a lawn care service. All of a sudden, you're going to find yourself 5-6 people right there. And all you got to do is go meet somebody at Home Depot, get the lawn care equipment. And these are simple tasks that you guys can do to generate yourself some good money. Not easy money, good money, right? Hey, I appreciate y'all. The stickers coming in. That's what I'm talking about. Admin assist. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, when you guys purchase stickers, okay, or badges, any platforms that you on, I want you guys to make sure you visit TravisKnows.com, or again, you can click the link in my Instagram bio. Scroll down here to the bottom and click get the sauce. Okay, we're going to match the dollar spent up with the person. And we got a little goodies that we give away to the individuals who support us with getting badges and things of that nature. I like to pour back into you for pouring into me. So I thank you for doing that. And once again, visit that link so you can get the sauce. Everybody who purchased badges and stickers from us before, you guys should have gotten your email with the sauce last week. So again, I do thank you all. All right. Let me see. Any more questions? Hope everybody's having a great day. It's almost the weekend. Boom. I run a small junk removal business and got excited about those trash contracts, man. You know what I'm saying? That is the beauty, guys. And again, you ain't even got to have a trash company, man. You ain't got to have none of it. All you got to do is know somebody that got it. My mindset has changed. Oh, I love reading things like that, guys. Look, business ain't nothing but a mindset shift. That's all it is. CEO DJ, hey, CEO DJ, I appreciate the love and support. Say thanks for all the free game and motivation. I appreciate you, my brother, for hanging out with me and allowing me to pour into you. I truly do appreciate it. Here's the thing that I learned about life, guys. You can expedite where you want to be in life if you just follow the people who are living the life that you want. Yeah, stop listening to the rapper. Okay, you ain't going to be a rapper. Okay, so stop paying attention to them. It's over. You 38. The rap days is done. So go find somebody who's living the lifestyle that you want, like the real lifestyle, real business world, right? Not no athlete, not no actor, not no rapper, not no entertainer, period. Okay? You missed the calling. Yes, I ain't one of them people talking about it ain't never too late for you. It's too late. You 38. It's over. Okay? Let's come to real business because you ain't got to miss that calling. The business world could literally generate you entertainment money if you allow it. Okay? So we're going to go find individuals who are excelling in the business side of what we want to do, and we just follow them. Follow them, support them, buy into their programs, get around them when they hold conferences and events because you can expedite the learning curve to everything. The only reason why you do not have what you want in this life right now at this moment. Same thing happened to me. So again, I want to advise everybody. Some people be like, yo, Travis be talking shit. Like, listen, Travis talks about Travis. I don't know any of you guys. I know a couple of y'all, but for the most part, I don't know y'all. So I can't possibly talk about you. I don't know your mother's name, your daddy's name. I don't know your kid's name. Don't know where you went to school at. I know absolutely nothing about you. So I can't possibly be talking about you. So don't get in your feelings when you hear the words that I say. But instead, since I'm talking about myself and I realize that YouTube and Instagram and all that, they use analytics and they pull like-minded people together, chances are, as I'm talking about myself, it hits home a little bit. So it could sting, you know? But I want to remind you guys, I just got words. And if you allow my words to hurt you right now, you ain't ready for business. So you should probably just go back to work. Because the business is going to eat you up through your emotions. So we need to erase those moving forward at all times, okay? And we just need to do this business. But again, guys, you all have the skill sets to make anything happen that I'm talking about today. All right? Mentoring available. I will be opening up some mentoring sometime soon here. I just got to make sure I have the capacity for mentorship. I take mentorship kind of serious. And it's my mentors got to be able to feed me too. I can't just feed into my mentors, my mentees, should I say. It's got to be give and take type situation. So I've ran mentorships before and it was just a take situation and it was draining me. So this time going forward, I'm going to make sure that I put together a mentorship situation that is great for all parties. All right. I love this one right here. No one is coming to save nobody. Come on, man. Got to save yourself. Save yourself, and then you can go save whoever you want after that. Ethel, I appreciate you. I truly do. Thank you for the support, Ethel. Hey, y'all are crushing these super stickers. Don't forget, guys, when you guys buy that sticker, get to TravisKnows.com. Go click Get the Sauce, and we will get you guys over some goodies for supporting us. Also, if you're here, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing to the channel. Share this information out, man. We need more minority entrepreneurs understanding this information. It only happens with you all sharing it out, all right? Let me see. Am I missing any more questions? I'm partnering with a veteran. Hey, my guy ain't playing. He is not playing. I love when I see people actually taking action. Yvonne, what's happening? What is happening with you, Yvonne? All right. How long does it normally take to get a contract? I don't know, Hellcat. I don't know how long it takes to get a contract. All of them vary. Could take you 5 days. Could take you 2 years. Right. And the reason I say that, guys, let me tell you guys this. I just showed you guys extremely big numbers and the opportunity here. And I ain't picking with you, my brother. This is for everybody. You have to get off the mindset shift of instant gratification. And I know people like, well, I just wanted to know how long it takes to I don't care how long it takes. Okay? Because chances are, if you're not a millionaire right now at this moment, right, the steps that you've been taking in life ain't going to get you to $1 million. Majority of people's steps that they're taking in life was the ones that was taught to us by the system. And it was implemented in our minds by our parents because our parents was taught by the system. So everything that everybody has ever taught you is to generate money too slow. They tell you your hands needs to generate the revenue. So if we're okay with taking, 1 year, 365 days, 2,080 hours to make $60,000, $110,000, $180,000, only for them to take 33% out guaranteed in taxes, and that you got to get a car, you got to get a house, you got to entertain yourself, and then they told you to save some money, so they probably convinced you about this 401k game. I mean, before you get to see your money according to their system in a year making $180,000, I mean, you hopefully you get to see $70,000 of that, but you probably didn't. Because usually people make the more money they make, the more shit they buy. Instead of one car, they got two now. Instead of one houses, they got two. Instead of taking 2 vacations a year, they take 6. And they just spend all the money right on up. So if you're okay with that formula that will never, ever generate you $1 million for you to see, it is impossible for people to keep going to work and generate $1 million. The formula just can't work. So if you're okay with that, you gotta be okay with putting in the work and understanding that the minute that I figure this game out, my life changes. So if we go for retirement, if you're at 35 right now and they say retirement is 65, that's 30 years later. So according to your formula of wealth, it's going to take you 30 years to get there. I'm telling you, there's a new formula of wealth that you could create by paying attention to a customer that got way more money than your formula of wealth that they told you to. I'm telling you this new formula. If it takes you 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, let's say 5 years, if it takes you 5 years to generate what you would have generated in 30, didn't you just knock off 25 years? The formula instantly changed. You now have 25 years of your life to live instead of waking up every day doing something that you don't want to do. So again, I say that to everybody. Don't ask people, if it's real money that you're trying to generate for yourself, if you're really trying to change your life, it ain't about how fast you can get it. It's can I get it? If I can get it, then I'll determine the speed of how fast it's going to take me to go get it. Because if you put 12 hours a day towards this shit, you should probably have a contract in 30 days. But if you only putting 30 minutes around and you playing around and you only look at government contracting when I come on YouTube and it sparks your energy, then it probably will take you 5 years. Because you ain't working hard enough. You playing around. So that's my answer for how fast you get contracts for anybody. All right. Let's see. Mr. Cash, I appreciate the badge as well. Come on, Mr. Cash. Thank you. I truly do appreciate it. All right, let me see if I got any questions. I am scrolling and looking for the queue. So if I miss over your question, my apologies. I told you put a queue in the front. All right, here we go. If you have a 3-year contract, how often will they pay you? Do I have to front the money for 3 years? No way, hell no. We had to front money for 3 years, we'd be in trouble. No. So usually that's the service side for 3 years. So what'll essentially happen, maybe they could pay you, and again, pay sometimes is based off your relationship with the customer. They could pay you in 14 days. They could pay you in 30 days. If it's the Army, you ain't gonna get paid in 30 days because you got to go through their system of invoicing. So I like to tell people, plan for the worst case scenario. You want to be able to front things for 90 days. Worst case scenario. Should get paid in 30, 45, but sometimes things just happen. And the lower you get in government, the longer the pay could take. So like local government, they the bottom of the totem pole. So they could take an extremely long time to pay you a local government. Federal government going to pay you a whole lot faster because that's where money is created. But when it comes to pay products, if you're buying products, usually you're going to submit a quote. The government will accept the quote and give you a purchase order. Once you get the purchase order number, that confirms that they're going to buy the stuff from you. Do not buy nothing until you get that purchase order number. Okay. Once I get that purchase order number, I go buy the products. It's going to get delivered. Once it gets delivered, I should have my money in the next 7 days or something like that. Direct deposit into your account. Unless it was a credit card. If it was a micro purchase, something under $10,000, you'll get paid that day. Like the day that you get off the phone, they can micro purchase, credit card, swipe it, get paid. For service-based contracts that you're going to be running like payroll on, you need something to invoice, right? You can't invoice. The government doesn't pay businesses to create a business. Okay. You gotta have it already. They reimburse business. So, for the service-based side of the house, I have to have something to invoice them. The only way that I can have something to invoice them about is I gotta send people to work. So usually you're going to take 30 days to give them something to invoice. That's all of your timesheets, the 15th, the 31st, or 30th. That's how I advise you guys to pay so you don't run out of money. Don't pay your employees every Friday. You're paying them on the 15th and the 31st. It's going to save you money because they got to do a week or two in the hole when they first get on. So your first check to them wouldn't come until the 31st if they came anytime in between the 15th. So that saves you money as you wait for your money from the government. Employees don't give a damn about what's going on. They want their money. All right. So the 31st gets here. That's going to be your second payroll, right? So I paid the 15th out. I paid the 31st out. The third payroll is guaranteed to be a full-blown payroll. And what I mean by that is nobody's staggering in on the assignment anymore. Everybody's butt is in the seat. Full-blown payroll. So you got to be ready to pay full-blown payroll by the third. It could be the second. Okay. But by that third one, full-blown payroll. You don't submit an invoice until the first of the next month. Okay. So that means that 2 payments guaranteed, you got to have money to cover. You submitted the invoice on the 1st of next month. They could possibly take 30 days to pay you from that submission of invoice. So now you should be ready to pay for 4 payrolls before you get the first payment. You got to remember your first payment is going to be a broken payment because it's from that first month when people were coming on board. It ain't a full-blown invoice. Your second invoice will be a full-blown invoice because it'll be that second month of everybody on board and all the butts was in the seat. So again, you got to prepare yourself, worst case scenario, 90 days to cover that payroll. If you do not cover the payroll, then you in trouble. All right. And again, money should never be an issue. You can always go find money. The question is, did you put enough money on top that it doesn't cost you money to obtain money? Your customers, no matter what business you're in, customers should always pay your expenses. And if one of your expenses is obtaining money, you need to know how much it costs so you can put it on your price that you're charging. Right? Let me see questions. I'm looking for the queue. If you have a 3-year contract, all right, I just answered that. Sorry. Let me see. Again, if I skipped over your question, my apologies. I was just looking for the queue. Weight loss and fitness. I appreciate the badge. I called SAM.Gov and they said that my Canadian corporation can bid on U.S. government contracts. All I need is apply for a ITIN and that it is free. Yes, it is. That's good to know right there, man. Get involved in these government contracts. If the Americans won't do it, you know what I'm saying? Since the Americans won't listen, come on over here and collect some of this money from us since we hard headed. You know what I'm talking about? Go ahead and do your thing. Kudos to you for stepping outside of that box and reading things that even the Americans sitting right here on this land don't want to read. Yeah. Man, I'm stoked about that. Just joining. Is there a new start time on Thursdays? Yeah, we're here at 2:00. I may be changing the days to a separate day, but yeah, every Thursday at 2:00 we're here. All right, scrolling. All right, here we go. Another question. Play the Pure Money song at the end. You know I'm gonna play the Pure Money song. I got to play the Pure Money song, right? Let me see. Got another question here. Can you further explain the 51% of the jobs you do has to be done by you if you do not do the job and also working remotely and it's not legal to pass over? I got a video on my Instagram, not on my Instagram, on my YouTube. It's pass-throughs versus middleman. Watch that video. It'll break it down to you in a much better format than here. That's all I talked about in that video. So check that out. Can I import stuff from outside the USA to complete can I import stuff from outside the USA to compete government contracts? Yes. But I don't think that's a smart thing to do. Who says that you're going to win? So what you going to do with all them products that you going to buy from outside of the U.S.? Just have them sitting there? So I don't like that idea. Instead, I'll just find somebody who already took the, unless you got some money to blow, you know, and you want to sit it right there, by all means. And I say that, so like during the pandemic, a lot of the rich folks bought up all of the gloves. They forced the price to go from $5 a box to $40 a box. And we couldn't get it from overseas because it couldn't get here fast enough. We come to find out they already been here. It's just everybody bought them up and was sitting them in sheds. I mean, in these country fields, it was crazy the type of stuff that I seen and went through for those gloves. But yeah, they took a hit. They had money to park. Okay, so they parked it in gloves and they turned, you know, what was a $5 million investment into a $500 million opportunity because they had all the gloves. So those are things that you can do. But if you ain't got that type of financing, I would not buy products for them to sit there, and I don't know if they're going to sell or not. Also, if you're buying stuff from China, you got to be mindful, man. We got problems with that right now. So I wouldn't buy anything from China at this moment. Now I'll tell you guys some things that we had to do, right? So like during the pandemic when they needed them gloves and masks, well, China produces everything. This is why America is trying to boost manufacturing. When I say manufacturing, money is always going to be up there because we don't make nothing over here. We try to change that. But when the pandemic happened, we needed all them gloves and masks. Well, they come from China. Well, since we couldn't get them from China, we had to do things. This is business ownership. This is you thinking outside of the box on the fly. We had to divert the stuff coming from China, send it to Australia, have it get checked in Australia, and then send it from Australia to America because now it's good. These are just, again, things, this business, this is the business world, thinking outside of the box. So anytime there is a firewall in your way, a hurdle, wall, whatever you want to call it, there's always a way to get around it, right? Let me see if there's any more questions. Here we go. You say that you're a consultant for businesses to bid on GovCon. How can I open a consultancy business to offer what you do? The best thing is to get into my 1-year program. So I can give you all of the sheets that I got so you can learn the game. And honestly, that's what I teach. I'm teaching you the game, not for you to just win contracts for yourself, but honestly, just go consult to somebody. Like, find the businesses that already got that stuff. Imagine if you found the IT business because you noticed all the money was in IT. You loaded up 15 to 25 IT companies that are already excelling. I mean, they doing a damn thing. And you become their business development without them knowing you're their business development. And then you approach them with all this business development shit that you've done for their company. Like, boom, they're going to bring you on as a consultant. And you just make money until you got enough money to do your own. And the beauty about it is if you're making the money in the consultant role, then 9 times out of 10, you're shaking hands and kissing babies out in that world. So when you go to start your own, you already know the players and you got paid to do it. In order to be successful, do you need to be doing this full time? No. You can take as much time as you want. But hey, I always say it's your livelihood. So what you put in is what you get out. Okay, I answered that one. Can I use my LLC to link up with someone else in my area in the same field? I believe you're just saying partnership. So yeah, you partner. Ain't no problem with partnering on anything. That's why I love this industry, guys. Whatever you lack, just give yourself time to go get. So what I mean by go get it, like find the company that already got it, that's already doing it, that already got the past performance, skill set that's needed, and boom, you in there. It ain't about what you could do. If you're thinking about your hands doing it, you ain't listening to me. All right? Should I find somebody to do the work for a contract first before bidding and get your bid approved first, then find someone? All right? Again, I'm not picking on you. I like to just say things out loud for everybody. Now, I want you guys to think about this, okay? Should I find somebody to do the work for a contract first before bidding, or get your bid approved first, then find someone? Now, just pay attention to what you're saying. If you were to go get the bid first and then look for somebody to do the work, that's a losing situation. You are setting yourself up for failure. How could you put a bid in and you don't know how much the work costs? You have absolutely no clue what people are about to charge you. It's impossible that you could put an educated bid in and get positive results on the other end. You are going to set yourself up for failure. So we do just like everybody else does. Have you ever, a lot of times, maybe again, that's because we're consumers, but a lot of times we just got to pay attention to what happens to us. Most business out here asks, I won 3 quotes. So when you get to these big businesses that are looking for 3 quotes, why won't you do the same? You have to see yourself as big business, because we have to start doing the principles, the daily actions of big business in order to be big business. This is why I encourage you guys to get around other people who are doing what you want in life. The reason you're not where you want to be in life is simply because the people around you haven't been there. Everybody around you at this moment, like if you're at a point in your life that you do not like, I know for a fact it's simply because your circle ain't wealthy. Everybody is just running the rat race that's around you. So now all of a sudden, by me transitioning and putting myself around other people who are way better than what I'm doing, I started seeing how they move and operate. I started paying attention to the words that come out of their mouth. And I realized, like, holy cow, this is a whole different space out here. Nobody's talking about using their hands to do anything. Instead, they really just talking about moving money. So now when I start putting out these bids out there and I realize, like, well, these guys who make a lot of money, they always ask for 3 quotes. Well, I want to do the same thing. So before I put any bid out there ever, I need quotes from people. 3 at minimum. Here's the thing. You get 3 quotes. It's going to tell you what the market price is going for. The other quote, okay, is going to make sure that nobody is out there trying to screw you of pricing. You get a median range of what the companies are going to charge you. So you kind of got an idea right there of a correct fee, a correct structure of how this deal is going to be done. So now you ain't got to guess about it. If you get 1 quote, you still guessing. You get 3, you can tie that thing up and solidify it. So we always got to get 3 quotes before we submit a bid. And in those quotes, you want to make sure that you lock them in. You know what I'm saying? Like that they respect the quote for like 30, 45 days or something of that nature. Because again, they can't submit you a quote and then you submit the bid and 20 days later they say you won, and then you come back to them and they like, yo, my price ain't the same no more. Like, what are you talking about? Your damn price ain't the same no more. Yes, it is. All right. So make sure that you are paying attention there to those 3 quotes. Hopefully that answered it. All right. Make sure I ain't got no more questions. We're running up on the 2 hours, guys. So I'm about to get ready to get up out of here. Chris Haskins' interview was beneficial. I appreciate you, TT. Thank you for watching our interview there. All right. See if there's one more question. All right, I'll answer this last one and then I'm about to get up out of here. All right. If I work for Lockheed Martin, would it be a conflict of interest to do this? Possibly. You need to pay attention to your or go to your HR department and just be open and honest of what you're trying to do. I would just say like this: if you're at Lockheed Martin and you're working on missiles, just don't go after contracts for missiles. And honestly, I mean, this is me. I'm not telling you. You need to make a determination for yourself. I told you the right way to go do is go to the HR department. That's the right way. And just keep them informed of everything that you're trying to do. And once again, stay out of the lane that you're working on. And it shouldn't be a problem. But myself personally, I wouldn't tell my company about it if I'm not doing anything that, pertains to them. If anything, I would try it out. Get myself some work. And if I can get $1 million cutting hair of government contracts and I need some help, well, shit, I'm going to Lockheed Martin now. I'm like, hey, Lockheed, yo, I know y'all ain't never cut hair a day in your life, man. I get it. But I got an opportunity over here that if we partner together, like I could just walk you into the money. And Lockheed gonna be like, damn, you went above and beyond? Well, thank you. I appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and award you or become a partner of yours and make sure that we can execute on this opportunity. So that's what I would do, but I ain't telling you that's the safest route. I told you what the safest route is to make sure you're informed, your HR. But the black person in me, I ain't telling nobody a damn thing. Not when it's business to business type situation. If you're working in the government, I'm not playing that game. I'm going to the government and letting them know what it is that I'm doing. For the business to business situation, I just don't believe Lockheed Martin gonna have the manpower to keep up with me. So yeah, I'm willing to play that game. But I did tell you it is a sketchy game that you're doing right there. Technically, because you may be working on their time. Especially like my people working from home. I know there's somebody working from home thinking like, I could do this while I'm working from home too. Technically you can, but that is robbing because you're doing other things while you're billing for time on a project that you're supposed to be working on. That technically is illegal. Okay? So I told you it was illegal. And don't you just go out there and do all things all willy-nilly. But again, if you ain't out here just doing stupid stuff, I mean, they don't have the capacity to keep up with people. The government, maybe, because, you know, they got the IRS and documents and all that. But businesses, man, they don't have that capacity unless people put on Instagram, I just opened my business and I've been working my business all day while getting paid at Lockheed. You know, some stupid people really do that stuff. Like all the people talking about I'm working from home and then they go make the damn videos. Well, thank you for telling your boss that you ain't doing shit at home. That's how people be getting fired. So just don't tell on yourself is the moral of the story. And you can win these government contracts. But guys, that's all that I have for today. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. Don't forget, make sure you all are liking, sharing, subscribing to the channel. If you guys would like to get involved in government contracting with me, you can get my 1-year government contracting course right here by visiting puremoneygovcon.com. All right, this is what our course looks like. You will get access to the replays of our 7-day challenge when you get into our 1-year program. You won't get on the live, but you'll get the replays of them, as well as you get all of the training right here. I have courses that teach you how to cheat. I got links that teach you about all the agencies and once you can follow the money. I got tools back here to help you out with pricing. For all of the certifications and whatnot, I got links to take you straight to where you can find out more about those certs. I also got like spin-off classes. This is an evergreen program. So as you guys want to know more information, I'm constantly putting new videos up here. So you'll be able to get right back here. Again, how do I talk to people? How do I talk to the primes and things of that nature? Convincing a prime to put you on their team. I got videos back here for all of this stuff. So you'll get access to all of that for an entire year, jumping into my program. And we meet the last Monday of every month, which is this coming Monday at 11:30. So once again, you get in that program. You'll also get 12 months of coaching live on Zoom. And you get access to my Google Drive. And if you guys can see inside of my Google Drive, I actually have a bunch of templates back here. I got some bid, no bid decision formulas, consulting agreements for you to take a look at for all my people that were talking about consulting and things of that nature. It's a bunch of stuff back here for you all to take advantage of. You can find, again, all of that information by visit puremoneygovcon.com. If you're not for sure if you're ready for this government contracting thing or not, you can visit govconcheatcodes.com and you could take the assessment right here. Okay. And I'll let you know whether you're ready for government contracting and if I can help you. There's also some free resources that you can take advantage of at govconcheatcodes.com. And most importantly, if you have some suggestions that you would like me to talk about, you can come right here and give us some content titles that you want us to talk about, and I'll knock those videos out when we get a chance here on YouTube. If you're looking to get into my 7-day challenge that is starting November 28th, we go every day, 7 days straight at 11:30 a.m., including Sunday. The Lord will understand if you take one Sunday off. So that is the Sunday that he's giving you guys. I'm telling you guys right now. He talked to me one night. He told me, it's okay, Travis, you can do these type of things. Okay. So it is okay for you guys to take a break of church on Sunday. And November 28th is when we're going to get this kicked off. If you would like to do that one, again, you can always visit travisknows.com and get access to everything. But the 7-day challenge is at puremoneygovcon.com/7-day challenge. Again, we will be live every day for 7 days, and I'm going to teach you government contracting. I'm also going to teach you about affiliate marketing on the internet, and I'm going to show you some tools that I use to help expedite this stuff. So again, you can access that one at puremoneygovcon.com. And last but not least, remember, travisknows.com. Don't matter how you spell no, just put an S on the end. Okay, you can find everything that I'm talking about as well as you can find all of my social media channels. Make sure you guys are tapping into all of the social media channels. It's information on all of them. And then share TravisKnows.com out with another minority entrepreneur and tell them to follow the social media channels too, so they do not miss out on this educational information. Guys, that's all that I have for today. I want you guys to drop a fire emoji down there in the comments, no matter where you are at. If you enjoyed this information today, go ahead and put that down there to let me know. That's how I know that you have picked up anything that I have put down. So go ahead and drop that fire emoji in there to let me know. Outside of that, guys, I love you all. I hope that you really enjoyed this information. We're going to go ahead and close it out here with our Pure Money song. If you guys ain't part of the Pure Money gang, you're missing out. And when we say gang, it's gathering and networking genuinely. Shout outs to my guy, Trey, once again, for making us our Pure Money song. Make sure y'all are getting this money. Remember, before I get out of here, notes, guys. Notes don't teach anything. I've never, ever in the history of my life of business thus far, and I've been in the game over 10 years, I made well over $1 million. Never in the history of my life have I learned a damn thing from notes. And you know what? I don't think I've ever showed YouTube this real quick. I'll show the other platforms this. Y'all want to see notes? Here's my notes. You know what I'm saying? These are all my notes right here. You can just look through these pages. Y'all probably can't see because the pencil mark is so fine. This is how old my notes is. Look, it even got the yellow. You know how when the paper old, it got like the yellow on it. This is how long I've been taking notes. And I'm telling you guys this. I don't know a damn thing that I wrote here. All these notes that I took the time to write. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books of notes right here. Out of 9 books of notes, I probably only know 10% of the information that's in these notes. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is stop taking so many damn notes like I did, because you can't learn all of this stuff because you can't implement all of it. All you need to do is take notes on the stuff that you want to implement and then go implement it. And then once you implement it, you find out if what you wrote in this pad is true. But if you write notes about everything that you're going about, you don't have time to take action in nothing. So you don't even know if what you wrote down is true. Just worry about the hurdle. The one problem that you're facing right now that's stopping you from moving forward. Go take some notes on that and then immediately take action behind the notes that's going to get you over that hurdle. And then once you get over that hurdle, trust me, another one's coming. And then you're going to start the process all over again. But don't you be no damn note hoarder like I was. Okay? You be better than me. You learned enough today. You have enough to take action on it. So take that action right now. Once again, I love you all. I'll talk with you later. We will close this out when the song goes off. Once again, shout outs to my guy Trey for making us some of that pure money. And I appreciate, again, each and every one of you all who are continuing to tune in, but most importantly, continuing to help me share and get this information out here to our minority entrepreneurs. It can't happen without you guys. We cannot change this community out here and change these dollar amounts that I showed you without each and every one of you all continuing to support the channel and the mission. Once again, I love you all, and I'll holler at you.
It's just different. Yeah. You already know what it is. Pure money, baby. I keep a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. Said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Come and hang with the gang. Get some free game added to your mainframe. Gotta keep your mind sharp, we gotta maintain. And it's even better when the squad on the same thing. Steady swishing on the competition. We ain't tripping about the opposition. We on a mission and we got a vision. People in need, we believe we got it like I give a couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. I said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money. Been slept on, money never stepped on. We increasing positivity until the stress gone. Satan tried to hold the squad back, but we kept on. We ain't making this up, no Revlon. I ain't trying to make you blush, but this a highlight. We send the high vibes, homie, this a high life. We rising far above the game, that's a flyby. But we still connected to the source, that's that Wi-Fi. Reception, now we answer the call. This squad taking questions and we answer them all. We don't wanna see you fall, we wanna see you ball. We all gon' eat with the peeps, we gon' feed them all. Couple in the bag, homie, I ain't gotta brag. Even when the hater try to doubt me, I just got another contract. Watch the dollars follow back. Let me tell you one thing about me. I said I like my money pure. I like my money pure. Okay, I like my money pure. I said I like my money pure. Oh no, I like my money pure. The bag is secure. Yeah, I like my money pure. I like my money pure. I like my money pure.